Just before 9 p.m., 39th District Police responded to a radio call, report of a shooting at 20th and Ontario Streets in the playground. When police arrived on location, along with medics, they found a 15-year-old female laying on the basketball court, face down. She was suffering from a gunshot wound to her head. She was transported to Temple Hospital. That 15-year-old female is in very critical condition right now. She's being worked on by doctors. She's fighting for her life. She was completely unresponsive when police found her laying on the basketball courts. It's the Jerome Brown Playground. She was actually under the net of one of the basketball courts when police found her. Now, this time we found some fragments near where she was laying. We're still checking for ballistic evidence such as shell casings. Fortunately, the entire incident was captured on cameras that are at the playground, and it's very tragic. It shows this 15-year-old female actively playing basketball, actually dribbling the basketball, when she suddenly collapses when she gets shot. Now, the scene also consists of 2 basketballs that are still on the basketball court, and there's several fresh drinks that are on the benches and on the sidelines of the basketball court. We know at least 10 young adults, male and females, were involved in the basketball game and on the sidelines when this shooting took place. However, right now, we don't have any witnesses. We're getting information that this female, 15 years of age, frequents this basketball court, and she often plays basketball. She's known to the staff here. They say she's a really nice girl. She also lives 1/2 a block away from this location where she was shot. So fortunately, we do have surveillance cameras at the basketball court. We're trying to determine a description of the shooter or shooters. It's a very clear recording of her playing basketball when she's shot, and she's playing with other young adults, male and female, that appear to be teenagers and young adults. So this is a real tragedy. So our crime scene unit is going to process the scene. North detectives, they're processing the scene right now since she is still alive and fighting for her life. But we're still actively looking for any additional ballistic evidence, and we're looking for any witnesses. We know that there were individuals on this basketball court with her when she was shot. So we know there are going to be several other witnesses, more than likely young adults and teenagers. So we're trying to find those individuals right now. The good thing is the staff here at the playground know this female, and she only lives 1/2 a block away. So we're going to knock on doors, find her friends, find the people that she plays ball with, and hopefully we can identify some witnesses. But at this time, she is 15 years of age. She's shot 1 time in the head. She's fighting for her life at Temple Hospital.
How many shots were fired?
We're not sure at this time. We're getting some information there may have been 6 or 7 shots fired. However, we're not certain, and we're still looking for the ballistic evidence, such as spent shell casings. There's always a possibility that a revolver was used, and a revolver is a type of gun that doesn't eject shell casings. They stay in the vehicle. They stay in the cylinder. They stay in the cylinder of the gun. So that's a possibility. But we're still looking for any spent shell casings, and our crime scene unit's going to come out here with metal detectors and help us look for spent shell casings, because where this playground and basketball court is located, there's also train tracks on the other side of the fence. So there's a lot of rocks and debris from the train tracks, and we're not ruling out that the shots were fired from that location on the other side of the fence where the train goes by. So that's why we have our crime scene unit with metal detectors going to come out here and see if we can find any more ballistic evidence. But the important thing is that we find some witnesses. So if anybody knows anything about this 15-year-old girl being shot at the Jerome Brown Playground just around 9 o'clock or just before 9 o'clock while she was playing basketball, she actually had the basketball in her hand when we see her collapse. If anybody has any information, they should call 911, and those calls are confidential.
Have you seen the video? Has any officer seen the video?
Police and detectives did view the video, and she's clearly playing basketball. She's actually appears to be dribbling the ball, getting ready to make a shot. into the net. She's well known by staff here, and her only interest is coming to the playground, the rec center here, and playing ball. And she has a very good reputation.
So when you guys arrived here at the scene, and were there any of the kids that were playing with her, or was she just by herself laying on the floor and everybody that just happened to be here was gone?
The tragedy about this is when police arrived on location, she was laying face down on the basketball court all by herself.
So, Chief, the gunman, we're assuming the gunman was not on the court then? They don't, from the
The
video?
gunman may have been on the court or just close to the basketball court. That's what we're trying to determine right now.
But the camera didn't catch the gun. It caught the victim only.
It clearly caught the victim. However, there's numerous angles, and that's what we're doing right now. We're going through numerous angles, and we're taking our time. But we can clearly see that she was playing basketball when she was shot. And it appears at this time that she was struck by stray gunfire. I don't know anyone who would intentionally shoot at a 15-year-old girl playing basketball.
Are there any other potential victims who have shown up at other hospitals recently?
Yes, we did have an individual show up at Temple Hospital with a gunshot wound to his face. We're still trying to determine if that's related to this or not, and we don't know at this time. But we're still going to investigate that incident as an isolated incident until we can tie them together.
But a potential second victim here as well.
It's a potential second victim, but we haven't confirmed that at all at this time. But we'll investigate that shooting also. This time, we're investigating this 15-year-old female because she is in very critical condition. When police found her, she was completely unconscious.
And no idea what direction the bullets came from.
It appears that the shooting, the individuals that were shooting, were north of where she was on the basketball court.
Which is where, physically on the court behind you.
North will be that way.
Okay.
She was found on that side. That's what it appears. So we're checking everywhere, and we're gonna bring out metal detectors to help us find some ballistic evidence.